Hi, guys. Welcome to Radiogunk. It is 6:15 on a Saturday. And since none of us have anything to do, we decided we would finally get around to doing quarantine at Howard's house. And I just want to make note. I know a lot of people have reviewed the whole song and Beth falling. Everybody took that clip from us. Thank you very little. People posted it on Reddit. Kumia had it, and yeah, obviously you could tell it's our clip. It's my clip that I did because of the dead silence in between what actually appeared on the repeats and how it worked during the live show. I did happen to notice, since it was the first time I listened to a rerun of the show, that's where they insert all the commercials. I guess what they do is for the first airing of it while it's live, he has one person who funds the show.
Yes.
Right?
Because here, he actually invoked Mr. Marcy Turk. Ben Bardo got a little cameo, and there was so many hiccups. And did you hear him, Dennis? He pulled in Ben Bardo.
Yeah. And
he made him. So I think that's who's running that. He never said his last name, but he was way too respectful to him. And that's Mr. Marcy Turk.
Mr. Marcy.
That's as close as you're going to get to Marcy getting on the air.
Or do we call her Tarsi Merck at this point?
Yeah, Tarsi Merck's
Tarsi Merck.
Jason Joplin, Dave Standano, Zoss Rapin.
I love the best he could do is Gardine. I mean, literally, Gardine brings you the show.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny is Gardine's the only thing left on the shelves in any of the stores. So
it's so true. All that vegetarian food,
gluten-free, it's staying there, baby.
I went to grab a box of Pop-Tarts, and Rosie O'Donnell got the last one. So. I want to have a pool table in honor of Rosie that says no scissoring.
Oh, God.
But do we start with Tom Brady? Do we go back to Beth? And you know me, all I want to do is stay on Beth and what a psychotic she is. But the guys are like, no, maybe we start with Tom Brady and then go into Beth. But Beth kind of sets up the whole rest of the week. So I'm kind of thinking that we need to start with her and work our way down into Tom. We just have to. And you know what?
Yeah, that's fine.
What if we spend an hour and a half on Beth? Is there anything better than spending time on her? Honestly,
no,
I don't think so.
But aren't we playing right into her hands? Her man hands.
I mean, those giant King Kong mitts it has.
Aren't we playing right into her Otis Thorpe hands? Because bad or good, she takes this attention. This is what she's going for. We fell right into her trap. The Jack Tripper, Chrissy Snow, pratfalling, and we're talking about it. Benji Stickholm got nothing on her, I'm convinced.
Well, so that's why you're seeing what you see right now. And And that would be histrionic personality disorder. Now, let's review this now so that I don't have to break up doing the clips and we can just kind of review how we see Beth.
This is me playing armchair psychologist in the Gary Puppet thread where he accused Beth of, well, I mean, this is actually Bznick said it, and a lot of people say this. Beth only gets hurt when Gary's father's died. So
when
now
somebody
dies, yeah, and then she injures her foot. So,
well, it also has Munchausen by Kitty because another cat is going to lose an eye.
I know, as you know, I'm an armchair psychologist, and I mean armchair. And this is a symptom. I'm obsessed with this, and I know some people. I think we all know people who have this. So immediately I thought of this when I thought of Beth and all that. Yeah.
So let's review it, shall we? Okay. Histrionic personality disorder. Common diagnosis in females, which of course makes sense because everybody's a fucking drama queen. Emotional shallowness and overly dramatic behavior. Oh my God, check. Vague, superficial speech. Check.
It's all for him. Oh.
They need to be the center of attention all the time. Often interrupting others in order to dominate the conversation. Okay, that might be me too, but okay, check.
Everyone's got some of these. She's got all of them.
They may dress provocatively or exaggerate illness in order to gain attention. Check.
That's huge.
They also tend to exaggerate friendships and relationships, believing that everyone loves them. Check. Other characteristics include excessively emotional. Check. Sensational. Check. Sexually provocative. Used to be, but now she dresses like a Stepford wife. Impulsive. I don't know about that with her. Appearance focus. Check.
Yeah, sure.
Impressionistic.
Sure.
Check. Okay, examples. Miss Piggy, Kim Kardashian, Miley Cyrus.
That's the best, right?
And Mean Girls. That's amazing. That's amazing. Causes. Little research links with antisocial personality. Okay, so are those the causal effects of personality disorder? Is that what they're saying?
Maybe.
Cause
No, they don't have enough research on it.
They didn't put Brett's principle in there.
Munchausen by chloroxy. Fudgesicle said Munchausen by chloroxy. You know what? She might be losing her mind from the fumes.
Its mind was already going. Please,
Monique, you're right. You're right
so bad. It's burning his brain out.
You're right about a lot of stuff. You're right about most things, but I do think you're wrong about the drugs thing. And I'm not saying drugs. I'm saying diet pills. Like Fen and all that. She is on something. I don't remember that. That's like a 1996 reference.
Oh, Monsoon says it also thinks it's female. Yes, check. That's true.
What a bloody monster.
I would really be interested in what you people think that she's actually on. And yes, so shady. She is scary thin. But I think that's a byproduct of the way Howard is, too. You know, that's a byproduct of the way he eats. Oh, 100%. He loves being thin, and they both love being told, "Oh my God,
you're so skinny. You're
so skinny."
It was like that beforehand. It was
not like this though. This is
I mean, you know, as it's getting older and longer in the tooth, you know, it has.
Very thin is not a good look on you as you get older.
Well, no, but it doesn't know that, and it's built like an Eastern European woman. And you know, it's gonna get big, so it's starving itself.
We got Beanie Mac in the chat box. Hey, black guy. He goes like, you see what he wrote?
No.
He goes, your PowerPoint chart needs work. It needs more Sturkshire.
So where do we want to start, Johnny? Okay, so this is the opening music that they're starting. They're starting with a lot of really weird, like it sounds like a hybrid of coughs and vomiting, but vomiting's not really like a part of this flu. So I don't know why they keep putting that in as if it's something. It's kind of weird. All right, so let's listen. Here we go.
Get down with the sickness. What's that about? Hey now.
Oh,
wow. So that's what, a 20-year-old song?
Yes.
And Mr. Personality there has no idea what it is. Mr. Rock and Roll.
That's Disturbed. Cool guy music.
Disturbed.
That's towel snapping in the basement music with Ralph.
Well, no, that was closer.
I'm loving this next one. My spider senses is wiggling. No char.
Okay, I like this. Okay, I went out and my midnight oil went and got this. Okay, so this is Howard bragging about this. Not opening mail has been going on for years. So I'm not going to open it, but I'm going to let you get. What is it? Anthrax originally. That was the thing with the mail. So he's going to let Gary get anthrax and interns get anthrax. And I know he's got a million lawsuits unique with interns. Maybe that's one of them, letting him open up mail. But so I should have put anthrax in the title. But so this is him bragging about all the charities he gets, soliciting him. And he's trying to brag. We all know he doesn't donate to charity. No. And after this, I will show you a clip of major proof he doesn't donate to charity and bragging about it.
Okay. So here we go.
Weird too, because I don't want to touch my own mail because I think it has coronavirus. I mean, a lot of people have to touch that stuff, even though the experts are saying,
a lot of people have to touch that stuff. Could you just think about that sentence for a really quick moment? Everybody has to touch their mail. You are one of the very, very few people in the world that doesn't have to touch their mail.
Not only just the subject matter, that fucking compression hurts. That is
really
painful.
Good call, Dennis. Good call.
Jesus Christ. But what an absolute veal. Like, I mean, literally terrified to open
just
up his mail that he doesn't
alone.
open.
Just that alone, you're more out of touch than Hall & Oates. Just that alone.
Nice.
You don't have to go for.
Nice,
I mean, like, we don't have to have the rest of the show to know how ridiculous. But he's been this way forever. When is the last time? I mean, how far do you have to go back? Is he opening the mail on the E train in 1981 in the 5 minutes he took the subway while Allison was setting up his penthouse? When has he actually ever done this?
I don't know that he actually ever has. I mean, he has lived like an Arrested Development 12-year-old his entire life. His mommy took care of him, then his wife took care of him, and now Beefus takes care of him. That's all. Let's finish this clip.
It's harder to get some things off of surfaces, but I know me. I'll get the coronavirus through the mail. And it is shocking to me. When I get mail before the quarantine, maybe 90%, maybe 95% of my mail is just charities I already give money to. Yeah. And they write me constantly. And
what are the charities?
For begging for more, and I give them plenty. And then I notice they give out I guess some of the charities I donate to give out my address to other charities because they got me on a list as number one sucker. Right. So 95% of my mail is just people soliciting me for money, not bills. Like maybe 5% is actual, like either like a residual check. Like I got a check from.
Oh my God, I love this part. Okay, let's harken back to how I think Howard gives to charity. Okay, so let's say there's party XYZ going on in the Hamptons, and this party happens to have Elton John singing at the piano that night.
Tom Petty.
And
he's done that. You're right.
And it's at XYZ's house. Most of those type of parties are also charitable events, so that not only are you going to somebody's house to see Elton John, you're also actually donating $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to the charity of the host's behest. You know, so whatever that may be.
Oh my
behest.
God!
Oh, shut up! You two are retarded mental patients. Just like you know. So I think that's really what he means by charity. And then also, you know, there's total quid pro quo when it comes to his Knicks tickets because he usually does that stupid sit-in at the end of sit-in at the end of the show, which costs him $0.
Yep.
So this is what he considers charity.
I also think that polo's completely essential to her. Bonding herself as well.
The what?
The polo.
Oh yeah,
so the polo. There's always well, I mean, we're getting to that, but that's part of the Brady thing. And then I have the stuff with where he blew off that Gary's father's funeral. It's always a polo match where a foot's involved.
All right, let's finish this because I love this check thing.
I got a residual check from the Larry Sanders Show for 97 cents. On Friday, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, do I send it and cash it, or like it's 97 cents? It's like a bother, just
It's not even. All right, how many people out there, show of hands, know for a fact that could cash that check?
Oh, it's not even a question.
Use his phone app, sign the back for deposit only with his checking account number, took a picture of that, and actually cashed the 97 cents. Absolutely.
And Buckwell took his percentage. With that acting,
he got
that's way too much money. If you saw him in that show, that's way too much money. Larry, your wife has great tits. She's got something stuck up her ass. It's like she's on the perpetual rag.
Okay, that scared me that both of you actually knew that just now.
Because it is the worst acting in the history of TV.
Thanks, nerds.
All right, let's finish.
It's not even a hold. It said $1.06, and I guess they actually take taxes out, and it came to 97 cents.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, if you make $1.06 a year, you don't pay that much taxes, which is kind of a nice thing. And I'm looking at it and I go, it is money, and times are tough, and I just made $1. I'm not going to just throw it out. So, I mean,
for real?
Wow.
Can we just think about that for a quick second? There are no words for him doing that. None.
Well, Kathy Griffin's got some words. Go to clip 26. It's called "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?" So, in the 2000s, Kathy Griffin comes in, and she can't get on the Millionaire Show because they don't think, and she had to work her way to fame. And Howard's bragging that he can get on. And Kathy Griffin asks him what he's going to do with the money because it goes to charity. So this is how this is 20.
Here we go.
Tape of Gene Simmons on
Million.
How long ago was this?
2002, 2003. His early Hamptons years.
Okay, Dennis will definitely agree with me when I say this, but John, this is a perfect example of a callback clip that makes absolute sense within the context of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we have it ready. You know, usually you'll do something completely random where you'll say, hey, let's go to that clip of John BonJovi in 1997 when he first met Howard because he mentioned the word charity in the sentence. Like, that's what you would normally do.
Well, I have the Richard Jenny clip. It's on 20.
We'll skip that one, I guess.
Just kidding.
All right, let's hear this.
Would you go on Celebrity Millionaire?
You know what?
They asked me to do it.
Are you going to do it?
No,
Why?
because I'm stupid. I'll bomb out in the first question.
Of course he would.
Charity.
Oh, I don't care about the charity. I don't donate to charity. I'm not giving it all. No,
You're a taker.
I take everything for
Life
myself.
is givers and takers. You're a taker.
You know what? I'm too insecure to give money to people.
That is such an excuse.
No, I'm insecure. I got to hold on to every penny.
What is?
You know what he has?
Wow.
He has his parents' depression era mentality. You know,
That's what he's telling you. He's just cheap. He wasn't depressed. He had a better childhood than any of us did. That's not depression.
Yeah,
he got anything he wanted to, Mohik. The Walling shit.
I hear you.
Boston University is like the 5th most expensive school in the country, and that ratio has never changed. That's sad. He's just cheap and selfish and myopic and all the worst things you could be as a human being. I don't buy any of that.
That's not being insecure.
Yeah, I'm
That's
insecure.
Being miserly, cheap.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid
selfish.
it'll go away. I don't want to give any money to anybody.
Yeah,
If he
that's
lost
him.
his money, he'd know that if I had held on to that rag,
you know what? I would have had 50 grand.
Be in this position.
No, I never would give money. In fact, I even say the Jerry
He
Lewis
must be hit up for charity all
the time, and I tell him I don't give money to charity.
You
As a
know
matter
what
of fact,
he does? He gives junk. You know, any junk.
That I do.
Exactly. He gives junk. He gives people sitting in on the couch. But see, because he's really Mr. Moneybags out in the Hamptons and also in Palm Beach now, he can't get away with that anymore. That's why what he does do is those kind of things, those parties, that kind of charity circuit where he can be seen as the big shot who is giving for a good cause. Doesn't matter what the charity is.
But then the audacity to shake down the audience for money. He knows who his audience is. They march in the fucking what?
Does he really anymore?
I'm saying,
no.
Like, when you march in I'm saying, like, back then when he knows the worst of the worst of people who don't make any money. Your Mariannes, your Bobos are going to donate their fixed income to him. You know, could you guys imagine making $4,000 a minute in these numbers, and then asking someone who's making, say, 45 grand a year to donate to you? The narcissism,
because he is like the worst Bible thumping pastor in rural West Virginia.
Absolutely.
Who's asking for tithings even though you lost your job. That's who he is. Well, he would love to be that guy. And you know what? To some extent, when he was at the peak of his powers, when he had 30 million people listening, 40 million people listening, he did have that power. And he had that ability to make people believe anything he said, like us rubes. I mean, we did. We did.
But even back then, I got the guy from Forbes. I think his name was something Doug Donovan. I don't know why I remember his name. He's a writer from Forbes. He did I told John this the other day that he did to top 30 earners in the media, radio, whatever, and it was all the heavy hitters. Howard made $31 million a year as early as 2000. He's never not made six figures, but those early 2000s, he was making $31 million a year, and he's not donating shit. He's the Rolling Stones of talk radio charity, because aren't the Rolling Stones the only major super band that doesn't donate to charity? I remember Keith.
I don't know anything about that, but
I remember a press conference. One of the media guys, Keith Richardson, he goes, Keith, you guys are, by far the biggest moneymaker, and how come you don't donate to charity? And Richard just looked at him and goes, oh, come on, man, you gonna start with that? And him.
Okay, Tiger Lily, 100% Howard will complain that he doesn't get a stimulus check. 100%.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
That's not even a thought. Exactly.
You know what I do? I draw cartoons sometimes of myself, and I sign it.
That's really
and I'll give it to people.
See, all that stuff. Effort. The cartoons, right. Kathy's so right. The lowest effort you can possibly imagine.
By the way, wigs off to Kathy Griffin, because she does this regularly to him. When she comes in, you can complain about like regular guests that when they like,
but she's not regular anymore. She's never
not
on.
regular. But when she comes in, she does a lot of this over and over again. So if there's someone want to hear regularly, it's her because she's going to do that.
This is a great clip, by the way.
What's even funnier is that Robin is going to complain about not getting that check, but she actually really needs it. So,
according to Grillo, she does donate stuff to charity.
I know, but she needs that $1,200 very badly, I guess.
And by the way, if by mistake her brother's check came to her instead of him, she'd fucking cash that too.
She'd cash that bitch in 2 seconds.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out when I went into foreclosure.
I am as low as a human being can be. I have no charity.
You grew up poor, or
yes?
Oh, you get over it.
Liar.
Can't get over it.
Okay, depression.
My father told me.
You sound like my parents.
My father told me every day of my life that I would never make a living. That there was no way someone as dopey as me could ever make money.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
I'm his son. No, I'm his son. I know that.
Oh my God. Absolutely, Jeremy spoke. She cashed her father's mesothelioma check, remember?
Yes, she did.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying. She will complain about not getting that check.
But let her brother's house go into foreclosure.
Absolutely.
Can we just think about that for a second?
So I have a very bad self-image.
I wish you'd go on Millionaire, though. You got to be better than the NSYNC kid.
You know what I told Millionaire? They said to me, you can come on and give the money to charity. I said, tell you what, I'll come on. You give me $1 million no matter what. And no charity. I give it to Howard Stern. I'll donate to charity if I'm so moved. That's what I
like
said.
That Michael Douglas wedding where they're giving to the kid and the kid will like decide what to do with the fund.
He's really prophetic here.
Yeah. This is a brilliant
Michael Douglas
diatribe, if you will.
Says $80 billion. Right. So at the wedding, they had that new baby. They said, don't give us any wedding gifts. Donate to our son.
But he will designate the charity. When he's older.
Yeah, when he's older. When he's 37 years old.
When he's old, like he'll know something. Right.
Okay, enough of that.
Whoa.
Can you believe the audacity? What did they have? Who did they have donate to? Right? Did Howard and Beth not do the same thing at their wedding?
Absolutely.
Donations to.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
That's right.
Did you hear what Kathy Griffin said at the end? She goes, Michael Douglas's son's probably going to be on drugs or some crazy shit like that. She has no idea how right he was. He just got out of prison. Yeah. He's like this crazy heroin dealer what's his son's name? I forget his first name, but he's this crazy story with this.
So even back then, he started the lie that Ben was not supportive in him getting into the radio, even though they're not evidence.
Lower class, Dennis. They're upper. They were
no. I'm talking about Ben saying he wouldn't help him with the radio, never become anything. I remember Ben coming on when he was at K-Rock, and he would come on the air and he would talk about him, helping him with getting on the radio and asking him questions about radio. I mean, literally, this lie, he's really built this lie up over the last 20-something years of just that Ben did nothing and thought he was just a moron, which is an absolute untruth.
He's never, ever corroborated that statement on any level.
I'm really looking forward to the turning of the tide when Ben finally kicks the bucket, which is definitely going to happen in the next like three years. I mean, the fact that he's still kicking is amazing to me. The fact that a 66-year-old man actually still has a living, breathing father is amazing to me.
Yeah, true.
The only thing I was going to say about the wedding thing is, I get the charity thing, especially when you have everything. It is the indulgent narcissist thing to say that, I so don't need anything that you can donate to XYZ charity.
Yeah. I got it good. I don't need anything. Right.
Stop with all the junk mail during quarantine. I don't want to be handling junk mail.
Well, it's in your email too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I know we're going on to the next clip, but let's just discuss Zoom for a quick second. That Gary apparently was invited onto this huge, 100 people Zoom conference. The funny thing about it is that Howard in his, the Zoom party is the pandemic 2020 version of the cocktail party for charity. Exactly what I was talking about with fucking Elton John playing. That is this version. This is today's version of doing that. Guess he gets a little jealous that Bobblebooey was invited onto it with Zoss Rapin, and he wasn't. Even though for a fact he would have never done it, he can't figure it out to save his life.
Was Gary's Guma on this also? Or?
Oh, I know.
That could be Melissa. It could be.
Yeah.
I was thinking about. You're alone during the quarantine. So Robin calls me the other day, and I missed the call. So I call her back. I don't know what day it was. I've lost track.
I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, maybe Saturday I call her back. She doesn't pick up. All right. I say to myself, what is she busy with? Right? Because, I mean, she's in quarantine, supposedly. Why can't she pick up her phone? So she writes me.
Okay, that laugh of Robin's is the fakest thing that she does. Right. Knowing fully well that Robin's like doing the other loser thing of having Zoom cocktail parties. But okay, let me continue.
Back the next morning, she goes, this is so Robin. She goes, ugh. She goes, ugh. I was unavailable for your phone call because I was in the middle of a Zoom cocktail party. And I was like, oh, my God. How about you just shoot me instead of putting me in a Zoom cocktail party? But I was thinking, don't be such a hard ass. Robin's all alone. She's probably talking to the walls at this point, even though she won't admit it.
I'm talking to my friends. I'm Zooming constantly.
How many people were in the cocktail party?
This one was 4.
4 people. Oh, that's it. That's some cocktail party. 4 people showed up?
You don't want 50 people on a Zoom. It's not like I send out invitations. I get together because on Zoom, if you've got more than 6 to 7 people, everybody's talking over each other and nobody ever gets heard. So you want to limit it.
Yeah. Like, you all sit there and drink?
Yeah.
You have a cocktail.
Everybody, you say, what are you drinking? I've got a dirty martini. I'm having scotch. I'm having a glass of wine.
Yeah, I heard our staff is having Zoom happy hour. And then I got a call yesterday from someone on our staff who said, just wondering if you would want to take part one day in the Zoom happy hour. I go, are those guys really doing that? Yeah, like Sal and Richard and everyone who works for us.
Can you have the hallways cleared on Zoom?
I feel like this is our version of like a Zoom happy hour because I'm having wine now. I'm pretty sure that Johnny has something to drink. Dennis, do you have anything?
I've already had my rye. I need to.
Keep your wits about you?
Keep your wits about me.
For this? Yeah, he's into rye apparently now.
Wow.
Rye and Campari, man.
What are you, Walter Matthau? Rye? Jesus.
I've always liked rye.
Walter Matthau.
Damn.
Get off my lawn, old man.
Wow.
I went outside with a stick, chase people off my lawn. Yeah, that's right.
The Zoom happy hour. I was thinking maybe you should go on that.
Well, they had one that I knew about.
Yeah, Don Draper released
it was a work day.
Right.
And I don't do this on work days.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Zoom happy hour with the staff. I mean, I wasn't going to happy hour before the quarantine. I don't want to be in any happy hour. I don't want the only people I zoomed with my daughters yesterday.
Yeah.
All 3 of my daughters and I get on and we Zoom. And we were on for like an hour and a half.
Don't believe it.
Update me and, tell me what's going on and all. And that was fun. That I liked. And then we're actually going to get back on there and play games.
No, you're not.
If that is true, it's only because they know what Katie Aldana's got a great point here. She writes, Howard has zero interest in Zooming with him, only because, God forbid, they see a sliver of his mansion. That's exactly right. Even they can't look at. I've been closer to the house than the staff has.
They've been to his mansion.
No one's been there. No one's been. No.
Yeah, no.
Everyone who's been there is gone. Definitely. Only Gary. I'm talking about Gary. I'm saying the kids know what. The kids know what it looks. I'm talking about the staff. I'm saying Katie's Aldana's talking about the staff.
Oh.
The reason he won't Zoom with the staff is because he does not want them seeing the inside.
Wait, hold on.
Time out, Sal and Richard.
Time out. The whole first week of quarantine shows was done on Zoom, where he was in his library. That's all they need to see. Nobody's zooming around the house. He was just sitting there in his office, and we saw it.
No laptop has enough battery to walk around the entire house.
But what I'm saying is it's no different than the first week of shows where they were all
No, you're right.
He can't be bothered to go down there for them. He probably has a different setup where he doesn't want to even go down there for them. I really believe she's right. I don't think he wants Sal and Richard and Jason and looking into his house.
Oh, baby. Promise you that every one of them knows exactly what that house looks like. They've been told on multiple occasions what it looks like. I'm sure there's lots of conversation about that opulent house. All right, what else is on this that I need to continue on with? Is there anything else on no, it's the next one.
Yeah, Gary's bragging about this celebrity.
Just when you couldn't hate him anymore. You couldn't hate him anymore.
So Gary, you're a weirdo. Gary sends me. He's such a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Sends me an email yesterday. He's all excited. I don't know what the hell. Here, I got it right here. So Gary goes, a Hollywood agent. This is what he writes me. A Hollywood agent has been hosting a Zoom party for a few weeks. he invites people he knows to perform, and he moderates the whole thing. And he goes, I was on for 2 hours last night.
How horrendous is that? Like, I would have to kill myself before I got onto with a bunch of pretentious bullshit assholes in California. But of course, that's Gary's world. Like, he stayed on for 2 hours, didn't spend any quality time with his family. Who even knows? The kids aren't there. But he's spending 2 hours on some pompous Zoom.
That's how you get Jackson at Netflix.
Exactly.
Right? It's shit like this.
No, you're right.
Constant shit like this.
It was all over the place. Can I read this, Gary?
Sure.
Bob Iger, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Tina Fey, they're all watching. And everyone wished Clive Davis a happy birthday while he was on. And Hozier did Take Me to the Church. And Billy Ray Cyrus sang Old Town Road. And LL Cool J sang a song. A woman named Madison Love wrote a bunch of hit songs for other people. She sang a song.
How pretentious is this? Seriously, you guys.
Wow.
On Zoom, no less.
But Howard's too cool for this now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he wants another. He wants a higher level. It's not A-list enough for him, or he can't.
Not A-list enough.
He doesn't know what list it is, but this is beneath Howard.
You know why?
He's too cool for this.
There can't be anybody taking pictures of him doing this charity.
Exactly. This is what we're talking about, right?
Exactly,
it's all about vanity and the house.
Rick Astley did a song, and then David Foster talked about writing the song St. Elmo's Fire, and then John Paul performed it from his house in London, and then Rob Lowe was in the movie, and he commented on it.
Jesus Christ.
And he goes, it's a very disjointed performance, but it's real raw and fascinating to watch, and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, maybe you want to talk about it on the air. And I'm like, I'm expecting he's going to put a
Yeah, you just did, douchebag.
Wow.
You just did.
a link so that I'm going to be in on this.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it.
No, he doesn't tell me that. He just tells me he was a part of it. And that
And maybe you want to talk about it without knowing about it.
Gary, why wouldn't you tell me to log on and then I would be a part of it?
Well, it's interesting. Ross and I were debating whether to call you to come on, but we weren't sure. We thought you were just going to yell at us and say, "Don't waste my time."
Gary,
because
if you had shot me an email and said, "Hey, Howard, by the way, Ross and I are on a link right now. We're in a cocktail party with Tina Fey and Hozier. Do you want to
Here's the other.
It's
I hate everything about this.
See, now one name has to ring true with Howard. Now he feels left out. But Gary's absolutely right. He would shit. If you were Gary, would you tell him? Would you? How hard is it for him to get in contact with him anyway? Would you bother with that? Gary blocked him on Facebook, I think, right?
Yeah, he did.
All right. Is there anything else to this other than Howard being that he wasn't invited to it?
No.
Okay.
And pretend.
Really? Are we going to do this Tracy Morgan thing?
Well, I think.
Oh my God!
If you want to truncate this,
I hate him.
Everything about Tracy Morgan was hateable.
It's not. I'll tell you one thing. It's not hateable about him. He called out Jimmy Fallon. He doesn't like Jimmy Fallon.
He did.
He did. Well, I'm not even sure it was this interview, but Tracy Morgan basically said Jimmy Fallon is the worst that he's ever worked with on Saturday Night Live because all he does is giggle during sketches, and he's trying to stay focused on the hit his mark or whatever. And Fallon's giggle. How that guy can elevate. I remember Jimmy Fallon. I was flipping around one night, and this is like the height of just hateable. He had Paris Hilton on, and I stopped. I'm like, what is it? I'm like, Paris Hilton's what? Who would have her on? So he literally says this to Paris Hilton. He goes, oh my God, Paris Hilton, I love you so much. Oh my God, what are you up to? What are you? And he's giggling and kissing Paris Hilton's ass, and I'm like, this guy is just the height of obsequious, repugnant.
The only thing that's
way too much to go through, guys. What about this Tracy Morgan Walmart thing?
The only thing good about Tracy Morgan is that he was high as a kite during that interview. I mean, rambling on about Walmart. The Walmart thing is good. The Walmart.
I got Howard Stern well met money.
Yep.
So he's dragging Howard into his tax bracket, which Howard hates, and he's bragging about fleecing Walmart in the same breath.
This is
okay. I love it.
Have you taken a hit in the stock market financially? I mean, it's very bad out there.
I've got all my money. My money's under my pillow. I'm an old school black person.
Right. In other words,
trust stocks. My mother got my money in her titties.
Tracy Morgan is king of all black with real money.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan is Beetlejuice with a fraction of a fucking brain and some more height. Like, really, Tracy Morgan is king of all blacks, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so true.
So in other words, you're not affected really like the rest of the world with coronavirus because you were smart. You never
Howard, that was Walmart, baby. Come on.
Right.
You act like that was Walgreens. I got Howard Stern money.
Look at that house you're in. I mean, I say on Jimmy Kimmel, you had a bowling alley, you have everything, and
the balls on him. I know we've discussed this before.
You can't do it enough. It's crazy. The Wiggerous, there's always that huge Wiggerous moment, and there's that. Too close to the sun.
Here we go.
I want to feel the sun.
Are you able to feed these sharks? You have some of the largest fish tanks in America.
My sharks had lobster last night, baby.
Really?
I'm telling you, Walmart gave me a lifetime supply of toilet paper. I'm cooked.
Off, Tracy.
in the chat box. How is he not investigated for this? You're on. Isn't this what got Cabby bragging about the Trump money?
He actually got it fair and square from a lawsuit. He won, and no matter what, they signed the agreement.
I guess you can't.
It's done.
Right, you can't go back.
So he's running around and he can brag about basically faking being
miraculous
very,
recovery.
very
Right?
Agreed, but is it not a dick move?
Oh yeah.
To be such a braggart. I mean, these people have to get their comeuppance at some point.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why this is actually acceptable to Tracy Morgan fans. Is this like aspirational? Is this
funny brag? Yeah, it's like funny brag. It's like funny to brag. He's got that kind of almost like that pro wrestling braggadocio pomposity kind of ass to brag. You know, the blacks and the bragging.
Yeah, Beanie Mac, why is Tracy Morgan Teflon? Why? Beanie Mac just said Tracy Morgan is Teflon, but why is that?
Some people just have this weird swagger to brag and get away with it and have that pass. He's one of those people that have that weird pass. Howard's got a pass too. Howard's got a bigger pass than Tracy Morgan does in some ways.
All right, I got to move on because I hate him so much.
Didn't you prance through the set of 30 Rock? You didn't see him on that set? He talked to Alec Baldwin.
I told you that. Yes, it was Tracy Morgan, Alec Baldwin, and Tina Fey. And Tina Fey gave me fucking snark eye.
Well, of course.
She really did. She snark-eyed me. All right, delivering fruit to a fruit. What's that?
Okay, this is him bragging about Beth bringing him fruit like an emperor while he's doing his show.
Oh, while she was crawling on the floor?
Crawling on the floor. This is key. This is good.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, wait a second. I can go down to my basement and broadcast a show, and then someone who looks like they stepped out of Playboy magazine is in my house hanging out with me.
Forget it. She was just crawling into the room to give you fruit.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
By the way, seen on camera, but of course the camera is set up. It's pointed toward the floor. So she crawled to deliver fruit to me.
Okay, that was it for that clip anyway. I'm sorry.
Wow, that was just...
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if you want to do this. This is Ronnie talking about his status and his verdict and what he's going to end up doing eventually.
So that was actually a little bit interesting. Basically, Ronnie saying that things are put on hold because of the COVID.
People are telling me now you're rethinking moving to Vegas. Like you're even thinking like I'm not even going to go.
No, I'm not that. It's just I might have to put it off for a while.
So you bought a house, but you couldn't go to closing.
No, I didn't buy anything yet. We were going there to try and make a deal and get it all set up on the 15th. But now that's not going to happen.
So what are your thoughts now about retirement, about going to Vegas? What's going on in this whole world?
I want to get out of here now more than ever after this crap.
Oh, yeah, because it's so much safer in Vegas.
Well,
why can't
we're all the detritus of the world convalesces to, use their social security checks in the seedy underbelly of the world. That's much safer.
Absolutely.
Why can't Ronnie and Stephanie move in with Julie's parents?
Nice. Wow.
All right, let's finish this. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm waiting to be able to, travel and do things, and right now I can't. So.
But aren't you worried about the economy right now and selling your current house? It would be difficult, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. But hopefully.
I got to believe that house is paid off, no?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. The one treat we had in that clip, though, is a Fred appearance. Fred has been almost completely missing from the show the last 2 weeks.
I edited it, Dennis. I took Fred out of it. I hate his Ronnie impression so much.
I understand that, but for most of the shows, Fred has been just gone. After that after that microphone thing last week, he has been like totally AWOL.
Katie Aldana says, I've been to Ronnie's house twice. It's pretty modest compared to some of the other ones there. I think it's really small, like a brick small house with no.
It's like a cape, right? Like a cape.
Yeah, we've seen it because we've seen the pictures of his Christmas decorations. It's a
the Home Depot blow
hosing down there.
Yeah,
Dennis, are you offended when a Jewish guy hoses down his driveway or power washes?
Yes, I am. Eugene should not do that.
Okay, my sphincter has never been busier. All right, Ralphie, the return of Ralphie Cakes.
Yeah. So, Dennis, when's the last time he's been on? You have any recollection of the last time? 4 months ago?
Well, like
2 months ago?
5-6 shows ago. So like,
that could be 4 months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
All right, let's hear a little bit of this.
Hey now.
Hey,
I got to say, I'm with you, man. I have never been busier. My days are
Really?
jam-packed. Also,
what in the actual is Ralph doing?
But now we all know what it's like to be Ralph and Beth, right?
What?
During this whole thing.
Wow. I mean, I guess organizing underwear drawers. I don't know.
His life isn't different. How different is Ralph's life during Corona, pre and post?
Yeah, versus
what's
any other
different
day.
about it? Yeah, Monday, underwear parties on Monday. That's it.
And there's no reason for underwear parties. He's got nothing going on. There's no reason to dress Howard.
There isn't. Tommy John towel snapping parties are strictly for that.
Well, less time on Tinder. I mean,
Right. Ralph days are jam-packed up his ass. That's exactly Okay, so let's finish.
Tiger King is awful. It's just everybody's watching because they think they should. I try. Chris was telling me it's great. No offense to Chris and whatever, but it's just awful. The people are disgusting.
Can I
what
say something?
Is disgusting.
Ralph is 100% right. It's really weird. Every one of our friends said, "You got to watch Tiger King. You got to watch Tiger King."
Don't.
And we were like, and we were blowing that off. And then so many people were watching.
So you had to, because it was very important that you keep up with your trendy little asshole friends. Like fucking Allie Wentworth, who's sitting in her bed with the Rona, and I'm sure she told you that you had to watch that.
One of the times that Artie really made me laugh, like just guttural, the hardest. But he's got into an argument with Ralph, and just out of nowhere, Artie just loses it. He just goes, "Oh, go jerk off to Star Trek, Ralph."
Oh my God.
All right, so Ralphie Cakes is on. We made our jokes about him. Let's move on. So let's get to Breaking Beth, which I love that name. Perfect. I actually should change all right, Bznick, if you're still listening, think Breaking Bad with Beth, and that will be like perfect for our cover.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love that.
So much you could do.
So as we all know, we who listen to the show, that Beth has been allegedly working her ass off, and she's Cloroxing after Cloroxing. That's the new word, right? So she's Cloroxing everything. She's wearing a hazmat suit to wash down everything in his room. She's cleaning his bathroom. There is no reason to be cleaning as much as she is, other than her little cat sanctuary, which I guess is full of cats that, shame on you for taking in as many as you have, but we'll come back to that in a second. The fact that he makes it like she is doing so much. And you know what it is? In reality, she's just doing stuff that every human being on the planet does.
Try having 3 kids doing that.
Right.
Any other responsibilities.
Any responsibilities.
It has no responsibilities. And its own stupid gram gave it away, though, because it has plenty of pictos where it's just laying around with a cat on it. I mean, that's in the last week and a half, where it's just laying there with a cat that's just planted on top of it. It's been there for hours too.
You guys killed it in the mockery thread, and Benjamin writes here, Beth just burst into tears from having to clean for the first time in her life. And your song is about how much she loves to clean.
Yeah, none of this makes sense. All right, so let's walk through this, because it's really the most germane thing to the entirety of the podcast today.
Germane?
So I guess this is the first thing for Breaking Beth. This is when she's coming downstairs to listen to her song, and she fell down the stairs.
Yes.
No. It fell. I thought leaving.
No, Dennis, she fell coming down the stairs as well. That was the whole point.
Oh my God.
She fell twice, Dennis.
Jesus Christ.
She started, don't you remember she had like a big thing of kitty litter?
That's right.
And she fell down the
stairs. The whole
she caught herself. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is good.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
What's going on?
Oh, don't. She's sighing. She's so tired.
Poor Beth.
First of all,
poor Beth.
What happened when you fell down the stairs?
I realized I need. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
I realized I need my glasses for that, because I was trying to skip steps
and I fell.
Who skipped steps going down the stairs?
A retard.
Wait,
Nathan Lane.
Didn't you hear me?
Yeah, I heard commotion out there.
I was carrying a jug of kitty litter that was full. It was so heavy, so it fell. Thank God the cap stayed on. It would have been a disaster.
What do you mean? You fell onto your knees or you fell face first?
No, I caught myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
And then why did you crawl in with the strawberries? Robin saw you crawling on the floor. Why did you do that?
What is going on? I see a hand on the floor.
Wait, what?
I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't know if you were on the air.
Yeah, but everyone saw you.
One thing we got to say to Dominic, do you guys remember the story? Dominic in his law office in Garden City had a sign that said on air when he called Howard. He had this really pompous sign, and he would flip it on when he got on hold. And the people, his receptionists and the people in the waiting room knew that he was on with Howard and nothing got done. Why can't Howard have that? Right. Why can't he? It's literally just outside the room.
Why can't the strawberries be on his desk when he starts? Why can't there's a multitude of things that could have happened in order for us to not see Beth crawling into. I wish that was on video.
I think that the Beth crawling in was just another attention horror thing. I mean, that's 100% attention horror.
Dennis, you are spot on. It is all fake. This is all. I believe I'm more than ever after this, and going through what I went through last night in the old clips of her histrionic case of examples. I think this is a Buckwald ploy. Horsey Beth had a theory that they want to try to get her a job on Home and Garden.
Again?
And they're showing her cleaning.
God, no.
It's just some stupid vapid reality show. She runs around as a cleaning expert. You know, this is what Buckwald does. He gets people jobs.
She's 100 years old. Nobody needs to see Beth on TV anymore.
And what is John Hine doing on Sports Channel, doing a New York Sports
John Hine is more feminine on that Sports Channel than Beefus would be. Please.
All right, come on. This is so key. We got to get into this.
All right.
Okay.
Because
yeah, but were you on the air?
No, I wasn't.
So just Robin saw me.
We were listening to a phone.
So what did it look like, Robin?
I saw a hand and I was like, wait a minute, that's a hand. And then you crawled in with a bowl and you put the bowl on his desk. I was like, oh my God, what's going on over there?
Tell everyone how you hate Tiger King finally. Did you force me to watch?
All right, here's where Psycho begins, and it just goes all downhill from here.
Do you really think Robin's
I don't know that she's not abusive, Beth. I found all of them a little crazy.
Are you crying?
I'm upset by it. I don't like it. I don't like watching that because then I think about it and then I can't go to sleep.
She thinks about it and she can't go to sleep. What type of mental personality do you need to have to cry over a show that's really basically about freaks?
Yeah.
And the fact that they breed these big cats so that they can make money off of the petting zoo, basically, that they run and take pictures of. And then God knows what happens to the cats after that. How is this the thing that gives you sleepless nights?
This is all they got. Reality shows. This is what they cried to.
No, it deserves an Oscar. This is the greatest acting on this show. And it is fabulous how it's
I think she's losing her mind, though. I think she is losing it a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah, if you were trapped with it, but there's a little bit of acting in this also, yeah.
Isn't this Honey Boo Boo part due with tigers? Isn't this what reality, the lowest form of reality, Schadenfreude TV, white trash Schadenfreude, and we all gather around, and I'm glad I'm not them, and they're hurting the tiger. Come on.
I'm sure anybody that they've spoken to has said, oh my God, you have to watch that because it's in to watch it. Therefore, we must watch it. Having such a weird reaction to the show is bizarre to me. And the fact that she can cry at the drop of a fucking dime, I don't think that she's acting. I think she's actually mentally unstable.
Well, that's too.
For real.
It is.
There's a lot of Arrested Development going on here. The childlike muling, the overalls, the little girl voice, the crying at the drop of a dime.
That's all in the histrionic description. All you just said.
Oh my God, Lisa Stein! I love the thought of menopause. That might be you might have hit the nail on the head.
Well, because
menopause is like the 50-year-old version of getting your period at 13. The fucking hormones are raging. You're out of control. You're out of your mind a little bit. That makes absolute sense to me.
Remember, it is starving itself. It doesn't have anything intellectual to read or watch or do anything.
No. So there's no brain stimulation. Neither does Howard. Because she hangs out.
Exactly.
Right. He's less. His IQ is worth. I think he's stupider than she is.
All right, let's hear the rest of this because I love it.
It's horrible.
I love you so much that you're upset.
I love you so much that you're
really
crying.
I'm just tired.
You're exhausted. Thank God. You know what? Do you want me to sing my song to you that I wrote about how much I appreciate you cleaning the house?
Was it a real song? I thought you were kidding.
I wrote a real song. Would it cheer you up, or would it?
All right, let's parse through that now for a really hot second. So they're living in a house together, right? They're with each other 24/7 for the last 3 weeks, and she doesn't know that he's writing a song.
Well, it is 16,000 square feet. So, and it has its own wing. So there you go.
But nevertheless, this is not what she signed up for. She never thought in her contract that she'd be spending any amount of time like this around this guy. She never signed up for this.
See, this is why I love Tiger Lily. She always agrees with me with these things because she understands. Because you're not women, okay? So yes, the whole Onyx thing. I mean, it's so emblematic of somebody like her. Like she's that girl who in school was tall and blonde, got everything she wanted, not too dissimilar to Howard, but, is very much used to getting her way and being able to be like that baby talk little girl. And that's what got her to get her way with the principal, with gigs that she had, with whatever she was doing. So this is an act that works for her. Like, this is a working model for her.
No, you're spot on. There's nothing more privileged or worse than someone like her who knows exactly what they can get away with, when they can get away with it as a teenager, and you play that to the tilt in adulthood until you grab the mother pelican like this.
Yeah, absolutely. He talks to her like she's a baby. I would throw up if my husband did that. Absolutely. I mean, he panders into her childlike psyche of sorts. So let's play the rest of it because there's so much to get to here.
It get you more upset.
I don't know. It depends on what it is.
Honey, tell everyone you're exhausted.
I'm so tired.
Tell everyone you're exhausted. Tell everyone. Yeah, really. Why is this a part of the show? So she's become part of his reality show.
Well, absolutely.
Exactly. And you don't
basically replace Julie.
There's an outline. There's an outline. You don't think this is scripted?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And then the fact that she had to come in at that moment.
Yeah.
Of course. Perfect timing.
I get that, but I'm also going to tell you that I think her crying and this lunacy of hers is definitely real in her mind.
Of course.
Why don't you nap in the afternoon?
It does.
I have things to do. I'm getting ready for that pregnant mama, so I have to prepare her.
But that's what I told her.
So take in more fats. Okay, so here you are, stressed out of your mind, dying from all the work that you have to do, but let's take in a pregnant cat because nobody else will, because even though you have 10,000 square feet of a second floor basically set up for 7 cats with an entire ER room there, the pregnant mama can't stay there. No. Must come to me so that I can be the patron saint and take in all comers. So she creates her own drama too.
Did you hear that? Would you hear that? Easy, Robert Frost. And miles to go before I sleep.
Without those kittens in the house, it has no purpose at all.
You're exactly right.
And that building of that giant kitty palace, the Pussy Palace, was nothing but a glamour thing for North Shore Animal League and Howard. And I guarantee there's probably not 100 cats in that entire facility right now.
All right, here we go.
Got to stop. You can't take this pregnant mama in because.
No, I have to. Where else is she gonna go?
I don't know, but you're going to kill yourself with all this, and I keep trying to help. And then when I try to help, I fuck up because I try to fix your TV set, and you didn't even like it.
Oh no! Did you tell that story?
Not yet.
What?
I haven't even got
what did you do?
She knows the script.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I decided to fix Beth's TV, and then she got upset by that.
He rearranged all the furniture in my little sitting room area.
Yeah,
little sitting room area.
Yeah.
And why was this? Why did this happen?
Because
what's going on right now?
It's a story for the radio.
And then I tore out a whole table that she loved
The
and everything.
lamp was gone.
Yeah,
Gone.
And honestly, I didn't even really fix it. It was really bad.
You tried.
Am I not doing enough or something? I'm trying to
Honey, look what you're doing. You're working.
I know.
You've got a high pressure job.
Come on.
That's the funniest thing on the show all week.
12 hours a week.
I'm not going to ask you to do house chores ever.
But I will.
Are you still cleaning the gym, Howard? You took over cleaning.
I'm going to be honest. I'm in charge of cleaning the gym.
Yeah.
I really haven't done anything.
I even left a spray bottle of all-purpose natural cleaner with rags. So all you have to do is right before you're working out, just spritz it and wipe.
Well, I sprayed the...
Because who else is in there that he's going to get ill from?
What?
Which I'm sure he wipes down after he's finished.
Yeah, but I mean, you can clean it once
or
a week.
whatever.
I mean,
I don't think he has sweat glands. I think he has no metabolism. I really mean that. I think he has no metabolism. I think that veal never developed. That's why he's so anorexic. His metabolism is so shitty. I don't believe he actually sweats. If he does, it's Sebastian Whitlow.
Yeah. So, but why do you need that? Why do you need rags and spray to spray down your equipment when nobody else is there?
Even predating Corona, they would never. How much human contact did they have anyway?
Not much.
All right, let's continue.
My Peloton bike, but then I gave up after that.
My Roomba.
Oh, so the Roomba will vacuum now.
I know. I haven't. I mean, I saw that it came, but now I have to put my gloves on and I have to Clorox wipe the box down. And
oh my God!
Off.
If anyone thinks this is real,
no, it's real to them because he's sick.
You're doing too much.
I mean, my days are filled, but so is everybody. I mean, how?
Yeah, but now you're crying. I don't like it.
That show makes me cry.
Oh, Tiger King.
Yeah.
We're not watching it anymore.
No, I'm done.
See the way he had to come back to that so that, it would make her sad again? Like that she had to, again, go back to Tiger King. All right, so now we're going to play a song to Beth?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. So this is all he's been talking about all day. This is his ode to his beautiful wife. And because she's cleaning and doing the work of probably 3 cleaning women in their house, this is his ode to her. So let's hear what we can get here.
You really wrote a song?
Yeah.
Is this going to...
All right, this is the 3rd time she's asked that. Yes, Dolt.
It is a
that's
Dolt.
Dolt.
How much I appreciate you cleaning the house.
I need to blow my nose.
Kimberly!
Kimberly knows in the middle of my song.
Wipe it, I'm not blowing.
Oh, God, here goes my headphones again.
Wow.
Beth is the perfect wife. She loves Clorox and Lysol wipes. Life with Beth is like a dream.
What song is that?
It's Neil Young, old man, like kind of derivative knockoff.
Yeah. It's killing me.
It's like Neil Young meets Adam Sandler and I bet you Sandler helped him with this. When I see Beth smiling, time just slips away.
Oh, stop it.
She protects me from COVID-19. She cleans the germs, the dust and dirt in her half-crop top belly shirt. She makes me safe in quarantine. She's like a sexy Mr. Clean.
Now, just know, right, that Beth looks like JD in this clip.
Yeah.
With her pinky eyes and her glasses and her T-shirt and her overalls. She almost looks like a mental patient.
As I sit here in my room, I hear the sweet sound of her vacuum. My Beth protects me. She disinfects me. She doesn't take it personal when she scrubs my urinal. Beth's love for me is built on trust and getting rid of all the dust. She's the other half that makes me whole, and she listens and cleans my toilet bowl, washes my boxers and my socks. She even cleans the litter box. She's all that keeps my poor mind sane. She even mops up the cat pee stains. She's there to smile when I feel glum.
I would have walked right the out on this already, just so you know.
So who's the ghostwriter of this? With the people who got
you know what?
How many people work?
It could even be one of the stupid guys that writes in like little whatever his name is.
No. This is too bad.
And to wipe up my apple crisp Metamucil crumb.
Yeah, little Mikey.
Oh.
My house was filled with dirt and grime. God, that's a sour note. Beth cleaned it all in her downtime. Beth cleans the house and keeps me laid. We're just like Arnold Schwarzenegger and his maid.
This is like getting a vacuum for Christmas.
Yeah. Andrew Morgan had a great reference. Dan, the song parody man's ponytail, wrote this. he was the...
We'll be together till the end. That's not just my maid, she's my best friend.
Okay, really? Really? Wow. Listen to her reaction to it because I'm sure it's wonderful.
How could you...
See, she liked it.
She liked it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
If beards could talk.
Yeah. It's our life, though, for the last 3 weeks. I loved it. Can you record it for me?
Can you record it for me? Because I'm not on air right now listening to the King show.
Wow.
Yeah, Rodney, you're right. We said Adam Sandler. It's very, very weekend update.
I guess it's recorded.
Yeah, but I could do a better job. You should have heard me playing the other day.
When did you do that?
And I was working on it all weekend. I'm like,
when I was cleaning.
I'm like Elton John.
I was really, I loved it.
There you are playing while I'm cleaning.
Steal that.
He is like Elton John.
Something like the.
What, the original song?
It's really good.
You thought yeah?
I didn't know if you used a song already.
No, like the song parody? No. Yeah. No, it was like
See, song parody? See, this is what gave me the idea that maybe he took it from like one of the song parody guys. That's all.
Sure. There's a million people that listen to that.
I told you the other day I wrote a song about you and you blew me off.
Yeah, but I didn't know what you were talking about. All right, thank you. I loved it.
Are you okay? Are you going to be all right? Because we're going to be quarantined for 18 months.
Do you believe that, Robin?
No, nobody believes it. Dull brain. Nobody believes it.
No.
18 months?
No. Howard's math is off. He's not looking at anything but his own imagination there.
This is true. So now let's jump. Where's the fall on her way out the door?
So the fall is virtually the last thing in this, and it's called
Walk Like an Autistic?
Yes.
That wasn't being locked up with me.
Wow.
Honey, what was your dream? Cleaning a house?
I'm living my dream.
No, I love you.
I love you. I love my.
All right, right at this point, because we're not going to play the other one, right at this point is where they cut to commercial on the replays.
Yep.
But this is the actual. Okay.
My song so much.
Thank you, darling.
So much.
Thank you.
What was wrong with your strawberries?
No, they're great, but you gave me like 100.
Yeah, I knew you were hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you just do?
Oh, did she fall again?
Oh no! What did you do?
You missed the fall, Jackie.
I'm sorry.
Just go back.
Oh, what did you just do?
Did she fall again?
Oh no! What did you do? Wait, come here. Oh no, come here.
It's like, ooh, Jesus Christ!
What in the?
Oh, honey, put a light up. Hold on.
My!
By the way, Fred actually made all his money just right now.
I'll be right back.
God, you got
I turned the lights out.
obstacles in that. What is that? It's an obstacle cord.
I'll be right back. To play a song.
John Ritter is rolling in his grave.
She hurt herself.
Oh dear. You okay?
Oh, so you cut that out. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look,
yes,
I'm going to get serious with you now. She's exhausted.
I know. I don't know what to do.
She's falling down, Howard.
Well, Robin, what are you yelling at me for?
Because you're the reason for it.
I'm the reason. I am. Are you crazy? You don't even know what I'm doing. I'm fucking exhausted too.
Really?
I need help out. I do help out.
Right, like when he was playing the guitar song, she's like, "Oh, while I was cleaning." Like she just fucking had to get that little dig in.
You're down there in that basement wiring, and she's cleaning that whole place and
believe me,
cats.
I told her she got to stop taking on all those cats.
She needs some sleep.
I know. What do you think? What do you think I'm doing? Sitting and ignoring the situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong.
That's what it looks like.
You're insulting me. Well, you know what? You're wrong. You're wrong.
No,
you're wrong.
What are you going to do?
I'm doing a ton of stuff, but we're both exhausted.
Is she ever sitting down?
What the fuck? I can't take the exhaustion. I really can't.
Is Robin in on the script, or she couldn't be bothered to read the bullet points beforehand? She's sort of not buying it anymore. She's like, what is this? Who's telling you to? Why is she down there? Why is she on the? It's almost like Robin isn't in on the script, and she's like, what? Why is she down there? You know.
Robin does no preparation anyway, so that probably is a point.
This insanity is really driving me.
Of course it is. Right?
Like I wake up every morning. I take my dog to like the dog park for a dog run. I come back. I get on my bike. I go like 6 or 8 miles. I come home. It's like you can go outside. Like, you know, not everything is airborne in your face. If you're like distance from people.
Let's even make it even more clear. They're on 4.5 acres that is walled in with fences and
access
security.
to the beach where there is nobody. Let's move on. All right, what do we have with this Beth histrionic behavior?
So we better get to that. So I took the liberty of going through Beth examples of Beth's pattern of behavior of Beth's histrionic personality. So every time there was an incident of Howard coming on the air and her getting attacked or in an accident or something spilled on her. And this is, I don't know, I found 6 of them. I probably have way more where that came from, but this is a constant narrative they had going, I believe is a Buchwald script for Beth.
Okay, and Rod, I do not have the coronavirus. I as you know, I sit in my bathroom because I have 2 windows with cross ventilation, and it's not really working right now. It got really humid outside. So yeah, sorry. I'm not sick.
What happened was I decided to go to dinner, and it was about 4 or 5 blocks away from where I lived. So
really nice night out.
Nice night out. I want to take a walk. I leave the restaurant, and this
what
guy.
What time of the night are we talking?
8 o'clock at night. We've gone to dinner early, and it appeared to be a homeless kind of was approaching me and was kind of like really like just like that, and I went, oh, okay, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. He just would not. Like most, like you meet guys on the street that they'll stop if you say, hey, enough.
Right.
But he wouldn't stop. I said to Beth, I turned to her, I said, listen, this is going to be a situation, I can tell. I don't know where this guy's headed. Quickly, I said, just run away. Let me deal with this. Because no sense in her being there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how gallant.
So she goes, no, I'm not. I said, leave. Just go. Like that.
Just
she doesn't
go.
leave. She takes my hand. She goes, let's move fast. I said, I'm not moving fast. There's nothing. There's no escaping this guy. Go. Now, I'm looking at the guy and I'm going.
By the way, is this pre having 6 bodyguards around them that would basically just push the homeless man into the gutter or something?
He's got the serious money. They're around.
This is a fake. This is as fake can be. This story. Everything
exactly. Like Howard ever talks like that. You know, he's running.
And I don't know if he was on something. It appeared to me he was. Or then it got even more threatening, verbally and physically. To the cab, I said, "Just you go. I can't deal with both of you. Go."
Right.
Menacing and yelling and screaming at me.
I mean, is he making threats?
You could understand him. He's like, it's cursing me out.
Just like, listen, everybody in New York has run into like the crazy bum, right? And okay, here's the way it works. You ready, everybody? So you see somebody either coming up to you or behind you who's screaming because they're insane and you can smell them before you even see them. So they're around. You step to the side or I don't know, call me crazy, cross the street. That's all you got to do. And then
you have to have some social verbal skills with regular people though. He doesn't, if this is true, which I even doubt, he's not going to engage him in a way he's going to blow him off and he's going to do the thing he always does. Cause there's no way that he's going to engage him in a proper way to stave him off. It's going to be where someone would get offended that you are blowing him off because they don't engage. Also,
the clip is longer than the engagement would have been with the homeless guy on the street. Seriously. So he made something that was nothing into a whole big fucking...
He had to get the first 40 minutes of the monologue.
And the guy starts coming in toward the cab like he's going to jump through the window.
Oh, really?
And I go, I go, what's wrong?
You really think he would follow him like that?
He just hocked the biggest loogie in my eyes and my mouth.
Oh my goodness, in her face?
In her face and in her mouth and in her eyes.
Oh.
And she's freaking out. This guy was just ridiculous.
Right, so the window's open at this point.
And Trapjaw
man is coming after you like a zombie. And
Trapjaw's got her mouth open, looking at him, waiting for it to come. Who would do that?
Nobody.
The cab driver was freaking out too because he saw the lug and he got hit a little bit.
You hooked the loogie?
How does everybody get hit with that loogie? How?
The whole Upper West Side took that loogie. Regis, Joy, Steve Gutenberg, Jolie Fisher, the whole Millennium Towers took them.
I said, stop the car. I'm going to go get this guy. I didn't care. I was crazed. So she goes, no, just take me home. I drop her off.
So who's in the cab at this point?
Beth's in the cab, and Howard's fending the guy off on the outside. Somehow the guy's with it. All the windows are open, and he's spitting into the.
Let's walk through this like the Seinfeld Zapruder film.
Exactly.
You see that? The chat box has that.
If the driver is also getting some loogie shrapnel, that means that Beth is on the driver's side of the cab.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Both of them have their windows down.
So now the Howard's saying that the loogie's spraying the driver and Beth in the back, and the loogie takes a 90-degree
the magic loogie theory.
Right,
yes.
like the homeless guy's dark side shooting an Omega blast.
But where's Howard at this point?
He's outside.
At the grassy knoll. That's where he is.
He's towel snapping the guy with his scarf, I guess, on the outside with the windows down.
I'm not understanding. All right, let me finish it.
That's why I dated it.
He called 911. This is a police emergency now.
On a payphone?
So he's fighting off the guy outside whilst he's spitting into the taxi cab on the same side where he's fighting the guy. Right.
And Howard's taking 15 minutes to call 911, right?
911.
Right. And I said to the police, this is what just happened. Can you help me find this guy? And the police came immediately.
Of course they did.
So now the badge bunny has commandeered the entire Upper West Side precinct as if they don't have a million better things to do, and they're driving around Howard and his brigade of cops, and they're going down Columbus and down Amsterdam and down West End Avenue.
That's
and
like
down
with her stolen cell phone. Like they called the cop to immediately locate Beth's cell phone. Like it was like the most important thing they had to do that day.
I had to leave that out. That's a good one.
I said, what do we do here? They go, you did the right thing. You handled it properly.
I did the right thing.
Nobody got hurt. I told them what happened. My girlfriend goes, oh, no,
Beth is boiling her face right now.
Well, I told her to run upstairs to the apartment and wash. Her father's a doctor, and he said, listen, just go up, take a hot shower, wash your mouth out.
Okay. So now she's on the phone with her father, the doctor, before she even goes upstairs to clean the spit off of her face.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that, Monique. Great deduction.
Oh my God, Daddy, what do I do? A homeless man just spit in my face. Is that really something you have to actually think twice about before you get upstairs?
Everything about this story just reeks of it just being 112% fake. It's just the most ridiculous thing ever.
This is my point. This is what a histrionic person. This is what she does. There's 15 of these at least. If you want to go on to the next one, go on to the next one. I mean, maybe we got the gist. The chat box is so brilliant, bringing up that Seinfeld episode with Keith Hernandez. It's as if they stole the Seinfeld plot for this.
They literally 100%.
It's almost the same thing. Everybody in the chat box, round of applause for that Seinfeld reference.
The magic loogie.
The magic loogie, yeah, exactly.
The magic loogie.
All right, let's go to Card on the street.
Okay, so she was walking down the street. Forget about the black guy for a second. This is a white guy story. This guy, it goes in all colors.
All best stories about black guys.
Stops his car in the middle of the street. This is a different guy. And says to her, I want you to take my card and call me because I want to be your boyfriend. And she said, well, no, thank you. And he said, you take this, like with that kind of tone, crazy tone, you take this card, God, because I am going to change your life.
Either now or later.
So she said, no, thank you.
You know, Monique, just up and take the card and he'll be on his way.
Right. This is a win-win in two different ways because she gets a double win. Beth's so hot. Directors are jumping out of the convertible, casting her, and she gets to play the martyr at the same time. So it's a huge sort of win-win in both areas.
And this isn't when people are just spontaneously jerking off to her.
Again, New York Living 101. You take the card, you say thanks, have a great day, and move on. That's all you need to do. There's no conversation. There's no discussion with these fucking people.
Oh.
That's it.
It's 112% fake, though.
Oh.
I'm going to change your life. I insist you take this card. So she takes the dude's business card. I got it right here. It's in plastic.
Let's call it.
Yeah, let's call the guy. I want to call this guy.
Yeah, let's call.
By government law, I have to tell him that I'm calling to be on the air.
Stop it. Monique, stop it. Stop it. I left that in. I mean, I was going to leave it in anyway, but that's the proof that all the prank calls are fake. So Howard just revealed the FCC rule, which got instituted, I think, that year. Mm-hmm. Anytime any prank call they do, you got to tell the person in advance that you're pranking them.
He might not want to come on here, but I could have Gary dial it right now.
Well,
my girlfriend walks down the street and say this black guy comes up to her in like a nice jogging outfit, and he grabs her arm, like almost grabs her off the street, starts accosting her. And I said, what goes on in the heat? The women wear like they wear shorts or something. They go crazy. She describes to me the day before, some imbecile gets out of his car in the middle of the street, stops traffic, blocks it up, all back up the street.
You believe anything this girl tells you?
Well, how do I hold your business card, dude?
Get serious.
I love it.
So my girlfriend's walking down the street.
Oh, please.
And she goes, and this guy jumps out. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to change your life, honey." And he won't let he won't let up. And she goes, I believe her. It was you.
Well, listen, it may have been me.
You married guy?
That was the event.
You married guy?
I don't need the cross-examination. I'd like to know what this is about.
I'm saying I don't think it's appropriate.
We're calling back. What do you want?
She doesn't want to call you, but she wanted me to call you. That's my girlfriend.
Oh, well, it's nice to talk to you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're a married man. I said.
All right, what else we got here? Is that the
okay?
Wow.
That's the guy. They may have had like a brief tete-a-tete discussion. Beth came back with this whole thing that they stopped traffic and is chasing me around. So they follow up with it again a year later, the same thing. She recycles her storyline.
Beth was telling me yesterday she's walking around shopping for Valentine's dinner. She made me Valentine's dinner.
Uh-huh.
And this guy comes up to her and he tells her that he's a movie director. And she's actually heard some of his movies.
Oh, really?
But they're like real crap movies.
So let's go full circle to 2019, and this is the guy that Beth says harassed her, and he was one of the guys that was in that Me Too movement. That's the director they're talking about. That's exactly who they're talking about at this moment. I can't remember the guy's name right this second.
Yeah, I can't either.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
He starts hitting on her, and he says, listen, I got to have you in my movie. I want to meet you for dinner tonight. This is ridiculous. I got to meet you, and blah, 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 blah. She even knows he's like married. She thinks he's married. And I got to meet with you. She goes, no, thank you. I'm shopping for Valentine's dinner with my boyfriend. Oh, who cares? I got to put you in the movie.
Yeah, why do women think that's going to stop a guy?
Yeah,
it never does.
All right, she tried. So she goes, but what was funny about it is she realized that this guy had already hit on her 2 years ago with the same line. And now he was doubling back, and he didn't even remember her.
He must use that line every time
every single day.
Right.
And I guess it must work. I mean,
to some extent.
Okay, so time out. This is the exact same guy.
Yep.
Who got accused of Me Too, and then Howard said, yeah, Beth knows that guy. He tried to come on to her a couple of times and lure her into coming for a reading with him by himself at his apartment or something like that. So the story has changed and morphed over the years now, you notice.
And this guy can't go anywhere but West 67th and Columbus. He has no other spot. He can't. There's a chick hotter than Beth every 15 feet.
Well, yeah.
And younger and hotter and whatever and more exotic. Every 15 feet.
She was at fucking Fairway Market shopping for food, which is 2 blocks from her.
You want to go to a different version of this? Okay, so
yeah, I love it. Good.
This is her Beth's out in L.A. at some shishi place. And I think it's L.A. And she's out with a friend.
I love the histrionics. I love this. Okay. All right, let's play it.
Beth went to a restaurant, she's telling me, the other night with a friend. This was Sunday night.
Not L.A.
And she goes there with 2 other women. And the waiter dumps an entire beer, like a big vat of beer, on top of her head, gets her whole outfit ruined and her pocketbook. And to give her a full bill, I go, you got to be frigging kidding me.
Again?
Yeah, again.
What is going
Robinson's restaurant.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that Sal did to her at the Christmas party last year.
Yeah, that's I was just thinking the same thing.
I didn't even put that in.
Story.
I didn't put
same
oh,
story.
Shit. I forgot about that. I was gonna say, Monique, because New York, you're a walking Zaggett's guide. You have to be the top of the top to be a waitress and a waiter in New York, right? I mean, you have to have skills. You got it. You're not spilling a pitcher of beer in any way, shape, or form, especially on a Sunday night when it's probably not even. That's bullshit. Like,
I don't know anybody who orders pitchers of beer. Number one, okay, she has to be at like the local Irish pub for pitchers of beer on a Sunday night.
Right,
and they're gonna. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. The entire story is nonsense.
Okay,
don't pay it. Those guys. Between the bag and the outfit and the whole thing, you probably you're looking
than
at
dinner.
You're way more. And the waiter brings the bill over. I got to find out the name of this. Sushi, sushi something.
Okay, sushi place. All bets are off.
Who's ordering beer in sushi places?
Oh, I think some people will get a bottle of Sapporo, but that's it.
Okay, but it found Beth's lap and face.
Max.
A pitcher of Sapporo
that doesn't happen. That doesn't
exactly.
And the waiter, so Beth didn't say anything. The friend goes, "Hey, you dumped it. You ruined her outfit. You ruined her pocketbook." And the guy goes, "Oh, what's the matter? Looking for like the discount girls?" Whoa. Like belligerent after he never even apologized for dropping the beer on her.
That's way wrong.
No establishment worth their time is ever going to not say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Yeah. Oh my! I'm going to find out the name of this restaurant.
What is going on out there? They got so much business, they don't need it.
Yeah, people are just arrogant. Like I said, I know it's an accident, but
still, you apologize and you make some amends.
You
That's
do.
A cleaning bill. She might have been a purse ruined, has to be thrown away.
And she goes, "Oh, my purse wasn't ruined." I know her. The purse is ruined, but she won't say anything. She's like that. I go, put the guy from the restaurant on the phone to me. She goes, "I can handle this." I go, "No, let me do it." I enjoy yelling at people.
Yeah, same thing.
Who are being it.
This is like He-Man Howard when it comes to Beth being in compromising situations. Put him on with me now. Go now.
Well, get him fired, like the guy, like Jake Bronstein from FHM. Howard, right?
Tarzan, you Jane, go now.
Ungawa.
Okay, so
I kind of want you to hear the black pack on the street with the dog whistle. So now, if you would think like if you're the NYPD, the worst neighborhood is West 67th and Columbus. All the crime happens right outside Howard's door. It's not Spanish Harlem. It's not the Lower East Side. It's West 67th and Columbus. So a pack with Beth, it's always black people. It's always black kids.
Yep.
So it's a pack of black teenagers. The high school bell ring, and they're running around with whistles looking for dogs to blow whistles at dogs.
I got really pissed off. Beth called me the other day. She was walking the dog right near our apartment, and she got into this weird thing with these 6 black teenagers. And I got really bummed.
What do you mean a weird thing? What happened?
She's walking the dog, walking toward the 6 teenagers. She said they must have been about 16 or 17. She couldn't quite tell. They come over and they go, "Hey, look at that dog." And then one of the boys gets down, takes a whistle, and blows it as loud as he can into Bianca's ear.
Jeez.
Into the dog's ear, just like blows it super loud. And the dog starts shaking.
Oh.
And, my dog is so sensitive. You look at these dogs, you think they're tough.
Okay, so the dog is what? A foot off the ground? Those little stumpy butt plugs?
Yeah.
So
crawled on the ground to do this, exactly.
Yeah.
And took what? Like John's rape whistle? Like what was it?
Where's the rape? Oh.
She wasn't going to say anything because she didn't want to start. And she knows she can't get away because she's got Bianca. Bianca's just going to sit there.
Bianca's 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bianca's like a battered wife. You abuse her, and then she'll just sit there.
She can't leave.
Right. So Beth says, she goes, "I don't know why." I said to these boys, "Did that make you feel good to hurt an innocent puppy?" And he goes, "We didn't do nothing to hurt that puppy."
He said it.
Wow.
Nice.
And so Beth goes, "You just blew a whistle. They have sensitive ears. What do you think?" And he goes, "Shut up, you bitch. You didn't do nothing." And I was like, "Oh, man.
Go now."
On his megaphone.
Wow.
Out the window.
Wow.
Exactly. From the 47th floor.
Oh.
Let's go down.
Every racial cliche is in there. Black kids on you white bitch. Could you written that any sloppier? Good Lord, who would believe that? Middle of the day.
Not us.
Wait, did you see Sharpen the Knives comment? A black guy with a whistle? Who's it, the cop from the Village People?
The white people, they always know how many blacks were there. You ever notice that? There we go. It was 5 of them.
No, she said there were 6 boys around her.
Okay.
Around
now.
What do you mean?
Now they're
King of all blacks
circling
is calling
her.
her out.
Yeah.
King of all blacks is calling her out a little bit.
Totally. They're circling her and Bianca.
Oh, that's King of All Blacks. I thought it was Tracy Morgan.
Right.
I don't know exactly how she said it, but maybe then I'm being racist because I said there were 6 guys, but she said there was around 6 guys. Why is that racist to know how many people are attacking you?
I always wonder when white people go, was there black people in the elevator? Yeah, I think it was 4 of them.
I'm going to move on.
So let's come full circle with professional victimization. So it's a staircase fall, Gary's father's funeral.
Okay, here we go.
On after me to get my attention by getting an article planted in the Daily News in the Russia Malloy column, which is absolutely false. The fact of the matter is he calls me an asshole because I didn't go to Gary's father's viewing.
Oh, wow.
And he says that Beth was at the Bridgehampton polo match and broke her ankle. And that's why I didn't go to the wake. Now, first of all, let me just set the record straight because
you do that.
Yeah,
this is important to me. 14,000 people want to cancel their subscription because I didn't go to Gary's father's wake. Like any of my fans give a shit what I do because I know Chauncey desperately wants my attention like a whining girl. But here's the real story. Gary's father's wake was from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. or viewing. I don't know what you call it. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I was set to go at 7 o'clock. I was leaving my house at 5:30. I had a car picking me up in Beth.
Mike the cop.
So at 5:20, Beth was walking down the steps in our home.
Smack those lips.
Wasn't it the polo match?
There was no polo match. And she tripped. She fell 6 stairs, fracturing her foot and ripping the tendons in her foot. I didn't know what was going on. She was huddled on the floor crying. I quickly called Mike, who was driving me, Mike the cop. We picked her up, brought her to a hospital. And anyone who's been to a hospital,
you can prove this?
No, I can't prove. Well, I guess there's records of it.
There would be a record in a hospital.
I called Gary immediately to say I was on my way, and we're going to go to the hospital. And as soon as Beth is clear, if she's clear, we will come. We had a 2-hour window. I believe I called you back, Gary, around 7 o'clock when your father's viewing was.
And Gary's such a douche where he's like, just totally is fine with the whole thing. This is the deli platter story, right?
Well, he did get a deli platter. So
yeah.
Actually, you know what?
I'm scared of us at this point of how much we know. It's actually starting to be really disturbing.
It is when you dwell on it.
Is hurt at a hospital?
No. She had nobody with her. It was only me. So at 7:30 or so when we got done,
he's reading a script.
I was about probably an hour and a half away from
in the timeline now.
With timestamps and scripts.
I got out of the hospital and basically I called him and said, I don't know what to do here. I'm very upset. I really want to be with you. I know the viewing ends at 9 o'clock. There's no way I'm going to be able to get there. I said, I'm bringing Beth home now. She was on crutches. I had to get her into bed. I had to go and make sure she had her painkillers and everything.
But the next day, she was perfectly fine at the polo match.
And we're going to tie that in with Tom Brady later on.
Okay, so full circle.
I mean, with this point, we didn't even know what was happening. And, of course, I couldn't leave her. She couldn't even move. And she was writhing in pain. So,
Chauncey, if you've ever had a girlfriend, you know it's not possible to leave her for anything on the planet.
My point is, I don't give a fuck about Chauncey. He can write whatever he wants about me.
I'm sorry. This is your lifelong employee, right? If I was Beth, right, and this happened to me, I'd be like, sweetheart, go to the funeral. I'll be okay.
And insist on it. And don't do until he goes.
Just go.
Really, really push it. You can't blow this off. You got to be kidding.
Just go. Don't worry about it. Get me another car to go home. I'll be fine.
I just realized something even more bizarre about this story. If somebody that's injured himself massively, especially my ankle.
Yes.
If it tore its foot, it would not be in that soft cast that it was shown at the polo match the next day.
Does anybody hear John with the ice? Because I do.
Oh, my God.
Throwing it out there. Just throwing out the official, you're supposed to take a shot every time you hear the ice. And I just heard it.
Yeah.
It was one of those weird casts, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I did that. I was in a full-on cast for 6 weeks because I tore the ligament off the bone.
Hers was a Hermes cast.
It was a Hermes snap-on cast.
Okay, time out a second. Beanie Mac is saying, stop the clock. The deli tray was for Ronnie's mom's funeral. Howard didn't send jack shit for Gary's dad's funeral.
There was a little innuendo that he did, but they can't prove it. I think that's a lie too. They said it, so I have the audio somewhere. It was something about catered. It's both, but I don't believe it. Doesn't mean I have to believe it.
Okay, yeah.
So he goes, Monique, Gary's rationalization was, he goes, Howard, you were so supportive during that whole thing. I mean, after my dad died, he called me up like 3 times. He's like, how you doing, man? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? Like that's gonna bring him back to life. That's gonna satiate the whole Delabate family. Howard getting on the phone is going, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah. He did call 3 times for about a total of 5 minutes. So, yeah, there was that. All right, so we're skipping right to April 8th. Okay.
Howard's got a team of people trying to supply. I mean, this is like a Wigala Grossa of sports knowledge. He knows nothing. So there's this gay man trying to crowbar sports information into him, and it's his quote unquote friends in the Hamptons who knows what, and it's the staff. So like Hein, Gary, Will, and a few other people, they play in a fantasy league. They're equipped to tell him. Fucking Brady went to Michigan, so Hein's jerking off to this, and they're equipping. So this is Howard trying to talk sports in the beginning and prep it, and he gets these Michael Jordan facts, very basic Michael Jordan information, just butchering it with people telling him what to say.
Yeah, there was one part when he was doing the interview where he mentioned another player, and he said something about, did you think that he as a tight end, blah, blah, blah name or whatever it was? And I was like, there's no way he knows who that person is.
No, it was Drew Henson. It was Drew
Henson, exactly.
The guy that started in front of Brady at Michigan.
Yeah, he would have never known that name. Never, ever.
No.
All right, here we go.
What was he, the 199th draft pick, when he got to New England? Like, he was sitting on his bed going, I might not be able to play football. I mean, no teams want me. So I relate to him on that.
How did he do in college? Was he not?
No, not great.
In college?
No, not great in college.
Yeah, he was really big in college. No?
When he went to college,
he was good. He wasn't great.
String guy, and then worked his way up to second string. And you know what I mean? It wasn't like, it's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan wasn't a great
Michael Jordan will tell you there were far more talented people around him than he was.
Yeah. And I can honestly tell you, I don't bullshit when I say this. In radio, everyone I knew was better on the radio than me. I was dead last. I'm talking, I was honest about my own skills on the radio. I was as bad as they.
Howard's thinking, and he does it, and we buy it, and we buy into it, the victimization. And I'm horrible on the radio. God, I had no business. But the people are supposed to put him in big radio positions anyway while he's hiring. So a guy who's running a radio business is supposed to go, you know what? You're really horrible in every way, shape, and form. But I think you'll be great someday. So I'm going to put you on now, and I'm going to watch our whole infrastructure just bottom out while you bomb, while you're learning, while you can't even become – because Howard wants to be like number one the first day. He can't start from the bottom. He can't work his way up. But I'm horrible, but they should give me carte blanche in every radio station I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, why would they? Why would anybody elevate you if you suck?
I couldn't even articulate what I was trying to say on the air. I just was not good at it. And that was my own assessment.
So Tom had a very good career in college. He was 20-5 in his last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but not in the beginning. If you remember, they weren't looking for him. In fact, he wasn't even sure that.
If you remember. Yeah, Rodney just said he won the Orange Bowl. How big can you possibly?
This just in, college football, usually freshmen and sophomores don't start. Usually it's juniors and seniors. Ridiculous.
What's a red shirt freshman?
He sits out a year.
Oh, okay.
He'd gone to the right college because he was the 4th round guy, 4th string guy.
Right. But inevitably he did have a great career at Michigan.
Yes, but nobody was looking for him when it came time for the NFL draft.
Yeah, that was surprising to him.
Let's go to Mary's father dies, because this is going to take us full circle to Gary's father dying.
Yeah.
By the way, condolences to Gary and his wife Mary. Mary's dad died from coronavirus. Gary's father-in-law.
Allegedly.
And I've been talking to him about it.
So this is the father who actually had heart issues and had fallen?
and was in rehab.
And was in rehab.
Yeah, and he's 87
and
years
he's
old.
willing to share with the audience the horror of when an elderly family member gets coronavirus, because you can't even be with them, and they die alone, to put it quite bluntly. And right, Gary, that was the hardest part of all of this.
We all die
alone. He'd been in a rehab unit because he fell around Christmas time, and he'd been back and forth between the rehab unit and the hospital. He went into the hospital to get his battery on his pacemaker changed, and he probably caught the coronavirus there. We last saw him on March 14th, and he died on April 2nd. And we had no way of talking to him. Once in a while, a nurse would be kind enough to go into his room and with her cell phone and put him on speakerphone. But then once he got coronavirus, that stopped, and we almost had no information. You'd call the hospital. It was complete bedlam there. The people are trying so hard, but it's insanity. So you'd call, and sometimes somebody would look up his...
Okay.
And Howard still hasn't met Beth's dad.
Yeah.
After all that.
Okay. Howard only wanted that on air so that he could say, see, look how everybody's dying of this goddamn virus. Good thing I stay home. Basically, we find out that Tom Brady's staying at renting Jeter's house, right?
You want me to give you a little information on
please.
Jeter's? All right. So Derek Jeter built his house on a place called Davis Island. Davis Island is near downtown Tampa, and it's an island, so his house is right on the water. It's also the largest house in Tampa. It actually is bigger than George Steinbrenner's house was. And the way it's set up is that it opens to the bay in the backside, and you can actually drive onto Davis Island and hang out in front of the house. So this is really not a great place for somebody to be on the down low, because
Howard's biggest nightmare.
Exactly.
The prospect of that, right?
So literally, this house is right out in the open, and I imagine he'll be moving probably by the end of the first season.
Post-haste. Exactly.
Yeah. I know where he's going to move to, and there's no way he's going to stay on Davis Island. Absolutely not.
And he's certainly not going to reveal his hand if he is going to do it, the way he's been so cloak and dagger his whole goddamn career in life.
Yeah,
right, but if everybody knows he's living in Jeter's house, it's going to be a shit show for him. He's going to have to move out of there probably.
It already is.
It already is.
Yeah,
I give him till June to be out of that house.
Yeah, my favorite thing in the whole thing, and I don't want to build to it, is how big time is your polo mallet.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I have a different Howard Stern story. Can I tell you? You don't probably remember this, but I met you. This was in the Hamptons. It was at a polo event, and
of course it was.
Jay-Z was there, and this was probably in 2002, 2003, something like that. And I flew out there because my friends were having this party at this big polo field, and like Rihanna was like driving around in a car in the middle of the field, and there was a tent, and you were there, and I got introduced to you, and you kind of big timed me. So I thought, wow, you were kind of at a big. I don't know if you already transitioned to Sirius at that time, but you were a pretty big deal.
Transitioning, all right.
That was my first Howard Stern experience.
Thomas, what do you mean he big timed you?
No, he just was. There was a lot of people wanted Howard's attention, so I could understand.
And he
that.
blew you off.
Do you want to know something?
He did, Robin. Can you believe that?
Oh man!
Can I tell you something, Tom? I don't even remember.
Of course you don't, douchebag.
He's no the biggest asshole. That's all I hear. And you get him in person in any scenario. If you're not famous, he's the biggest ass. Chilling. Yeah. He's exactly what that is. That is the real guy. I've heard several stories like that. And the thing is, Brady wasn't quite iconic. I think he just won his first Super Bowl. He wasn't, and a lot of football players aren't a household face. So he didn't have Gary running interference in front of him, telling him who it was. And in Howard's eyes, that's just not a big enough celebrity for me to be trifled with.
So he said that JD was there. I think he meant
JG.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Oh, JD.
I thought it was because he saw Beth, and he was like, oh, that must be JD.
So it's the polo match, right? Howard made it like it was so essential that he needed to be at this thing. He didn't want to be there, but he had to be there. And that's at Beth's request. So this polo crap is like the ultimate invite. It gets you in. You're meeting all the right people. And that is how she has to blow off Gary's dad's funeral.
I feel like you're saying it in present tense, but I feel like that whole polo thing
back then,
for them has gone the way of the wind. Like they don't do that anymore. Now they're even more super exclusive and just going to like billionaires' homes to do like impromptu music sessions and shit like that. They're not doing any of that stuff anymore.
that moment in time.
Yeah, 100%.
Talking about they needed that big time to get their, hoof in the door.
But everybody wanted him, right? Everybody wanted his attention because he likes to try and make himself like the elusive star. Like he's like, "Ooh, Howard came. Let's all gravitate towards him because he has such a fucking scary, amazing aura." That's exactly why he does it. All right, I'm going to go on to Super A-hole. Howard turns down Super Bowl.
That's it. That's it.
Gary and I were talking last night that you were coming on, and Gary said, "Hey, I was talking to Tom's agent." And Tom's agent reminded me, I don't think I've ever told this story on the air, that Tom Brady and I were supposed to be in a Super Bowl commercial together. And
I remember that.
Fucking lips, man.
I didn't. I completely blocked it out.
Why didn't you do it?
I'll tell you why I didn't do it. It was a weird thing. This was years ago. And, and when your agent brought it up, I said to Gary, I said, man, the guy's right. I barely remember that story, but it was weird. I mean, just the thought of being in a Super Bowl commercial with Tom Brady really appealed to me. And when my agent called me and said it, and then he goes, well, here's what the commercial is. It's for Intel computer chips. And they're introducing a product called 360 where you can be seen at all angles. And so first they'll show Tom Brady at all angles and he'll look perfect and beautiful. And then like me, like Danny DeVito in Twins, then they're going to show you. And at every angle, you're going to look bad. And I said to my agent, this. Are you kidding me? Wow. You know what? Yeah. Let Tom Brady look bad. I want to look good. I mean,
Jesus. That would be like the Jason Momoa Super Bowl thing from this year, which actually would have been extremely hysterical.
Which is a great commercial.
But that would have been a great way to actually attempt to make Howard handsome, but that wasn't happening back then.
His vanity will take over in every situation.
That's always amazing. Once again, too cool for school. That's literally too cool for school.
It always comes down to that.
Should we do Radio Gronk?
Please.
Howard was building to this because this is really the motivation to have Brady on is certainly from a homosexual standpoint, and his relationship with the Patriots goes. We all know the Kraft, machine. Believe it or not, as elusive as Brady is with sports media doing a full interview, Howard gets 2 hours with him. Bill Belichick was on the Stern Show after the 2006 Super Bowl for about 11 minutes, and he's probably more elusive than Brady to get an interview on. So that Kraft thing goes a real long way with these guys. The Kraft's kids are huge Howard super fans, and Gary worked at every muscle to get them on. Gary already performed.
This whole thing is like Howard being able to have the first interview with Tom Brady, and I don't think it would have had as much gravity as it did had there not been any sports to talk about from all these hundreds of sportscasters all over the country. It would not have been that big of a deal, but because they have nothing else to grab onto, it became a thing. All right, so let me play this Gronk thing. Let's hear this.
Tom, the reason I never went into athletics, and I'm going to be totally upfront with you.
Because you were so scary talented and muscular and built for sports?
He's blaming his Ben Stern again.
You sure it's not because you're shaped like a question mark?
Exactly.
I mean, I didn't get a lot of encouragement, but also I was nervous in the locker room being nude. Honestly, I didn't want guys to see my penis. Was that ever an issue for you? Do you ever sit there and go, in the beginning, I'm not comfortable being nude in front of other dudes and seeing their penises?
No,
you get used to it. I mean, when you figure it out, every guy's penis looks the exact same. So
in
essence, you just.
You're telling me Gronk looks like
a man's a man.
But you're saying Gronk didn't have the biggest schlong on the planet?
Wow.
I mean, I think.
Really? Is this something we need to hear about?
He's building to this. He could not wait to get to this. This is as excited as he's been the whole interview, and he just woke up.
So much more important than Giselle. So much more important.
He literally, he was looking forward to this. He set this up, and he just wanted to talk about Gronk.
This is all he is frothing, salivating, waiting, and of course Gronkowski comes up.
Gronk is, that guy's like a Greek god, his body, and that guy's just jacked up. So he's got it.
What football player isn't?
So.
That's the job.
Players don't. But Tom, the other players don't goof on a guy who has a small. I have a really small penis.
Let's walk this through for a second. 99.9% of the people that are in the NFL right now probably started in Pop Warner League. Okay, then they moved on to junior high, high school, where they constantly have to be naked in front of other guys because that's what you do when you play football. Then they go on to D1 sports, right, where they are together 24/7. They're going on buses to go to the other colleges to play their teams. You know, even the big shot teams get to go on airplanes. They don't care about men's penises.
Listen to Aaron Andrews over here. I want to look at you.
I'm just saying, is that not a fact? I mean,
it is absolutely a fact. He's so wound up, though.
This is how a gay man thinks, though. This is the only thing on his mind.
Tom is just confused.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
That. You're a fan. I can't imagine standing there and the guy's not saying, "Hey, did you see Stern?" I mean, you know, the guy's a great receiver, but Jesus Christ, I mean, what's going on there?
He sure is. Ask Ralph.
You know what I mean? Guys don't.
I think guys probably, if they're very, very well endowed, they probably get made more fun of than the other guys. Yeah. So the guys would hide it. And there's certain guys that would have to hide, you know, getting in the shower because they were embarrassed.
I don't even understand this conversation.
They were just.
Yeah. When I was in gym class, I always kept my underwear and shorts on, and the other guys were showering, and I wouldn't shower. I just stink the whole day in school.
It's so funny, gym class, because he's hearkening back to high school. I mean, these guys have had careers. They've had lives. They've played, you know, against some of the best there are in the world. And he's talking about gym class in high school as if that was anything to anybody.
But he'd also like you to have you believe, like he did in private parts, that he went to high school in Roosevelt, which he did not. He didn't spend one day of high school in Roosevelt. He went to Rockville Center, which is 99% white. And so he'd like Brady to believe that it's the Roosevelt, like Dr. J and Eddie Murphy and Flava Flav are hovering around him with their schlongs, dick slapping him.
Exactly, sword fighting in locker room.
Sword fighting.
It was embarrassing.
I know. If you think about today's day and age, too, how different that is. Because when we were, 25 years ago, it was so natural to do that. And now the idea of a bunch of people showering together, you kind of think why are we still doing this? I mean, this is so not the way that it should.
Dracula Godfrey says, listen carefully in the background to see if you hear Beth banging into things.
To be anymore. Can we put up some dividers, please? And then you go in the locker rooms that are newer and they have those, and you're like, oh, this is so much more comfortable. So there was a time. It's actually funny because I think they still let reporters into the locker room. So it would be funny because Gronk would get naked and literally throw his towel over his shoulder and just walk through the locker room with all the reporters. And I would just laugh because, Gronk, obviously, he didn't give a shit, but.
All right, I want to move on from Gronk.
Gronk's hog.
This is what my friends tell me. What's that?
Howard's getting, this is his intel, where he's getting his information from, but he won't say it. This is what my friends tell me. So his Brady notes are from these friends.
Oh, friends. He has friends.
This new coach in Tampa Bay, right? I don't even know the guy's name. I know it's important to sports guys. This guy's totally opposite Belichick. He's this is what my friends are telling me, and forgive me for not knowing all this, but the new coach, he's not sitting there looking to take credit for all your hard work and it's all about Belichick. This guy loves the idea of you
Monique,
throwing.
Can you stop it? So now he's trying to sabotage Brady's relationship with Belichick. Like Howard's going to have any sway and input on, he's going to turn them against each other. And he's comparing Belichick to pig vomit. Yeah. That somehow Belichick is a hindrance to Brady's greatness, like pig vomit was to him. And I think Brady was pitched to Howard as if they have all these similarities. They both go to Brady said psychologist before, and Howard tried to correct him. No, Tom, you go to a psychotherapist. It's a psychiatrist, because just like me, right? Brady's like, no, it's a school psychologist. That's what I go to. So it's like he was pitched to Howard that they have all these similarities and common out. But even though he's sports and you're radio, he's going to love you because you're the same person.
He's willing to let you do your thing more, right? This could be either it could be a disaster or it could be fantastic. What do we think of this new coach?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
You'll never think about him again.
Why I chose, here was, a lot of reasons. And I think me to even be a free agent, I learned so much about, having the opportunity to evaluate what.
Can I just throw this out there that that Tom Brady doesn't exactly sound like the brightest bulb in the.
No, he's been media trained to answer these questions in the most basic deflection way, where you never actually saying anything. You just sort of obfuscate and say something very politically correct. You can't call him out. You can't quote him. Derek Jeter does the same thing.
Yeah.
In the NBA, there's a few guys that do this, like Tim Duncan used to do that.
And you mix the world's worst interviewer with a guy that has been trained just to give milquetoast answers.
Yep.
Very robotic. Like there's,
no personality.
Zero inflection in his voice. I literally fell asleep listening to this because it was like listening to BBC. It's like NPR. It's even worse.
None of the scandals are ever brought up during this whole thing. Deflategate, which is a huge deal that rocked the NFL. It still rocked the NFL.
Yes.
And the Patriots are, known cheaters in every way, shape. I worked at basketball camp at Hofstra in Uniontown, Gary's hometown, a couple summers, and I saw Patriots scouts stealing, like they were looking at the playbook. This is a summer camp. So they're looking at the Jets used to train at Hofstra, and I caught the Patriots scout there. So and the Jets were like 2-14 the next year. So it's like you're scouting the Jets. It's like,
Jesus Christ. I'm just amazed that this is how this interview went down. Like, I didn't find it to be spectacular by any stretch of the imagination.
You got 2 hours with them. Of course, like we always say, of course you're going to get something quotable if you get 2 hours with a guy who's used to speaking for 90 seconds at a time to an NFL network. He's talking to Deion Sanders on a Sunday night for 90 seconds, throwing more softballs at him than Ralph Macchio in Beer League. And now he has 2 hours. Of course something's going to be quotable. And he's getting regaled by all the sports media. And shame on you, sports media, for picking up on this and quoting this and using this to fill your fucking time.
Well, what else are they going to do? The only other thing that you're on now is playing video game versions of NASCAR or NFL. I mean, they got nothing. Okay, everybody wants us to move on from sports, and unfortunately, this is the way it works here because he had Tom Brady on, and they're only 2.5-hour shows. So cut us a little slack.
It was 2 hours of a 2.5-hour show.
Yeah. What is this dialogue show?
Well, you want to do a complete 180? Let's do Colleen Collar system. And the Coburn virus. Howard's hairstylist, wig master from Private Parts passes away at 91, and she's Tony Coburn's mentor. Her thing is wigs.
Yeah, the whole thing is so weird.
She's not a hairdresser. Her thing is wigs. So Tony Coburn is her protege, and all she does is wigs. And yet, how is Tony Coburn Howard's, quote, hairstylist who, quote, cuts his hair when all she's been trained on is wigs?
I know you tell me, Sherlock John.
Well, let's do it.
What's the correlation? Listen. It just gives further credence to the wig wearing thing, or the system, as we like to say. But yeah, let's take a listen to this.
I want to mention someone who died. I don't know if they died of coronavirus.
Of course you don't.
She was an older woman in her 90s. A friend of mine and a lovely woman. Her name was Colleen Callahan. Colleen did all of the hairdos in the movie Private Parts.
Colleen died. I was going to say
Colleen
familiar.
Yeah, Colleen died, and she was a wonderful woman. I want to mention her name. I know you've never heard this name, unless you're a real super fan of like the Academy Awards. They started years ago to give out awards for hair and makeup, and she had been nominated many times, so many times. This woman was so talented that she worked well into her late 80s because every movie star wanted this, and director wanted this woman to do hair. And in my case, we used wigs in the movie Private Parts to simulate the different hairdos I had over the years. And this woman always had a smile on her face. She would be on her feet literally 12 to 15 hours a day. And I was amazed and marveled at her energy because she was she was elderly. And she also was a great teacher. She was very big in the union. Working movies.
Wait.
And she would have people come in. They would apprentice, and they would.
So when she worked on Private Parts, she was younger than Howard.
Wow.
Really?
That was 25 years ago, right?
23 years ago.
Yeah, so think about that for a second. She was like in early 90s. She was in her late 60s when she was working on Private Parts. So calling her elderly, that's just pretty funny. Such a 79.
They would work on wigs. They would work on hair. And she would take her time and teach them and train them so that they could pass tests to get in the hair and makeup union. She was an extraordinary woman. And we became very good friends on the movie because I would come in from the radio show. I would sit down in my chair. And in order to prepare, it took about an hour. And
So it took an hour to prepare Howard, but she was on her feet for 16 hours a day.
Yes.
It was all about Howard's wigs. Didn't Grillo tell us that Howard took all the wigs after the movie?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because he loved the way it looked because it made his hair so full compared to what it really looks like.
She would prepare these wigs for me to wear. And so at least I didn't have to sit there for 2 hours and actually do it on my own hair. And she had everything ready and she put it in place and she always had a smile on her face and she was a big yenta. She would tell me what was going on the set. You know, she knew
there was
everything.
always gossip. Yeah.
Oh my God, gossip. Giamatti did this. This one did that. Mary McCormick. Well, I didn't get the rundown from the director. I got the rundown from.
Super Trooper says there is no hair and makeup union. They're both separate, you stupid asshole.
I believe him. I don't know. I'm sure that's true.
1,000% awesome.
If it's from Howard, it's a lie.
That is great.
And continued to work into her 80s and maybe almost 90, I would say, because I would call her, I go, you still working? She goes, listen, I was raised an older woman.
Okay, he actually calls her and keeps in contact with her. Meanwhile, somebody like Robin Williams, who he can't even write a note to, he can't get a hold of before he dies.
Bullshit.
But this woman he's keeping in contact with well into like her 80s.
Jackie, Billy West, Casey Armstrong, Artie,
D. Snyder,
whoever. D. Snyder, and yet he is constant contact with a wig expert.
Rob Zombie.
She is.
And she said, look, this is my whole life. I love being on set.
It's your whole life.
I love hobnobbing. I love teaching people how to do hair and makeup. What a talented woman. I spent many great times with her.
Many?
Many.
I haven't spoken to her in the last couple of years, but we exchanged Christmas cards and things like that. And I heard yesterday that she died. Tony Coburn told me. Tony's been cutting my hair for a really long time. And I met Tony through Colleen.
Right.
Tony was one of those people that Colleen knew. And she said, you know what, Howard, if you need someone to cut your hair, I think you should use Tony. She's terrific, and I've known her for years. And she hooked.
If you need somebody to cut that hair, I suggest you use Tony. All right, this is almost over. I need to wrap
the whole movie revolved around his hair.
Yeah,
exactly. Like the hours they kept, the people they had to dance around him and his vanity. That's all that production. I mean, if you chiseled his vanity down 50%, the movie could have been shot in a month.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee it. Absolutely. All they did was dance around his hair.
And getting condoms.
So this is basically the way Howard ended the week. He finished his interview with Tom Brady. He went to music, right? And then came back.
This is like right after. Brady almost ended the show. What we've been saying for years. So now suddenly they don't do the news anymore. So there's no Robin's News. They've changed the format. And that cuts out as this should have happened years ago.
Right.
So he just ended the show with the Brady interview. He takes a call. Good. He kisses ass.
Good morning. How are you? Hey, Howard. Fantastic interview with Tom Brady. You're epic. I mean, just epic. And props to Gary for getting the interview.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, it's a funny thing with Tom Brady.
It's not like
Tom
our show.
Brady was. All right. I'm sorry, Mike. For some reason, the phones, everything is just
Howard, I think
a mess.
But I'm hearing that it's your internet that's kind of getting shaky.
There's something that goes on out here, like around that. My internet was never that good.
Wow.
Cuts out again.
Now you're completely lost.
Oh, shit.
We might have to end because of
me
a
and John.
technical difficulty today.
This is
all right.
worse.
We're
This
going
is
to
way
end.
worse.
Bye, everybody.
We're not getting $4,000 a minute.
Wow.
Imagine that. Imagine ending the show like that.
Wow.
Imagine getting paid what he gets paid, and that happens.
Literally just turning
and
his
it's
mic
your
off.
fault.
Literally turning his mic off.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's just, if you need proof.
And it's his internet.
If you need proof that he has serious by the balls, there it is. Turning his mic off, saying, I'm done. No internet problem at all. No cutting in and out. Just clear.
No accountability. No time constraint. No.
RNA says cricket wireless hotspot. So do we think he's on vacation next week? Yes, it must be.
Yes, 100%. Every time he's a big guest like that, that's his excuse to go away for 3 weeks. He's got time for plastic surgery, right? That's Passover is plastic surgery.
He's not getting anything done. He's just holding up
He'll
in that house.
He'll find a way.
He has his center right there in his house. So
you guys are so funny. He's doing absolutely nothing. He is done. He is done for the next week, which is a perfect time. Yes, Hey Julie show is coming. We're doing that one. It's going to be Bznick and BonJovial, and BonJovial is doing all of the clips for it. So we love him for doing that. But he's also in Australia, so it'll be a cute little accent on our little BonJovial, and it'll be cute to have him on the show. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you everybody for participating. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, John. Thank you guys for all coming on here with us on this incredibly boring night, and we'll just see what happens. So what else is there to say? I mean, goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at radiogunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Radiogunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.